Breaking news shocks Nigeria. It was the headline that no one expected. Apostle Joshua Selman arrested. The internet broke. Phones buzzed across the country. Was it fake news? Was it political sabotage? Or a spiritual attack? People rushed to Twitter, TikTok, and YouTube. Koinonia International posted only one message, which says, "Be still and know that He is God." But still, the questions echoed across the nation. Why was Prophet Selman arrested? Who was behind it? And what happened inside that cold detention room? This is the story, not the one they reported, the one heaven recorded. It started after a powerful service in Abuja. Thousands gathered, healings erupted. A woman with stage 4 cancer jumped and danced, completely healed. As Apostle Selman stepped off the pulpit, a man in black whispered something into his ear. He nodded. 10 minutes later, 6 officers from the DSS, Department of State Services, quietly surrounded him. No handcuffs, no resistance. Just a calm announcement. "Sir, we've been instructed to bring you in for questioning." He smiled gently and said, "I already knew you were coming. Shall we go?" The car drove him through the night, past checkpoints and silent streets. He was taken to a facility not even the media knew about. Underground, cold, guarded by armed men with no name tags. Inside the detention cell, Apostle Selman did not complain. He worshipped. "You are great. Yes, you are, Holy One." The officers listened from behind the glass wall. One of them later said, "We were sent to intimidate him. But the moment he opened his mouth to sing, we felt like the building was shaking." The next day, he was brought into a small interrogation room. A man in a grey suit sat across the table. He never said his full name. He only introduced himself as Mr. Lagos. He said, "You are being accused of the following: political destabilization, unauthorized gathering of more than 10,000 people, manipulation of the minds of Nigerian youth through spiritual means." Apostle Selman looked him in the eye and replied, "The only destabilization I cause is to the kingdom of darkness." The man laughed. "You're too powerful, too popular. The system can't control you." Selman responded calmly, "I don't seek power. I seek purpose. If you want to arrest purpose, then you'll have to answer to the one who gave it." That night, something strange happened. At 3 a.m., the power in the detention facility cut off. Cameras went dead, locks disengaged. A guard rushed to Selman's cell, only to find it glowing. Eyewitnesses say they saw a figure inside the cell with him. Some said it looked like a man in white. Others said they heard what sounded like ancient Hebrew being spoken. One officer dropped his weapon and fled, saying, "This is not a man, this is a gate." By the next morning, social media exploded. #FreeSelman was trending in 17 countries. Christian leaders from America, South Korea, Kenya, and Brazil sent official letters to the Nigerian president. Millions went into fasting. Several churches canceled Sunday services and declared midnight intercession. Even unbelievers began saying, "I don't know what's happening, but if Selman is behind bars, then something in the nation's spirit is broken." 3 days later, he was brought to court. Crowds lined the streets. Some held signs, "This is our Elijah." Others knelt beside the court building praying in tongues. The courtroom was tense. The judge, known for his harsh sentences, began reading the charges. Suddenly, The courtroom door flew open. A woman in a wheelchair rolled in, escorted by 2 officers. She said, "I'm the president's niece. I came to testify." The judge was irritated. "Madam, this is not your time." She continued anyway. "I had brain cancer. The doctors gave me weeks to live. But 2 weeks ago at Koinonia, this man laid hands on me." She stood up from the wheelchair. "And now, I live." Silence. Then the crowd outside began shouting, "Jesus, Jesus, Jesus!" Later that night, while alone in his temporary holding room, an angel appeared. Selman described him as burning but not consumed. The angel said, "This was not an arrest, this was a shaking. Heaven permitted it, so the next phase of your assignment would be recognized even by Pharaoh's house. From today, your voice will not only reach the pulpit, but the palace." The angel left. And from that day, the real reason for his arrest became clear. God used chains to set a nation free. Apostle Selman was released unconditionally after 7 days. No charges, no apologies, no press statement. But something had shifted. Since then, these two reach and moved. Government officials have been seen at Koinonia, government meetings. Underground Christian prayer cells have started in Asso Rock. Unbelievers began asking for that prayer that opened the prison, and Selman, he still preaches, but now his sermons shake cities. Because you can imprison a preacher, but you cannot cage a mantle. The arrest was a lie. But the anointing it unlocked was very, very real. Sometimes the enemy sets up a scandal and ends up launching a revival. So next time you hear that a prophet is behind bars, ask yourself, is it an attack or is it an announcement? Because in this story, the prison bars became the loudest pulpit.